needs to pay 136 crore rupees for abusing their dominant position in the Indian market. Did Google abuse us? How did they do it? What is a dominant position? My name is Naman and welcome to Crux. This is a case filed by Crux International, an NGO which works for consumer rights, and BharatMatrimony.in, a website, against Google in the Competition Commission of India, CCI for short. The CCI found that Google was abusing their dominant position. What is a dominant position? Think about this. You're sitting anywhere, a conference in office, a dinner with family, coffee with friends, and something you don't know comes up in discussions. An industry term, a historical fact, a movie. What is the first thing you do? You Google it. We click on the first few links out of the millions Google finds. And in most cases, that's how we get our information. So whatever Google puts in those first few links decides what we know about a subject. And not just that, also what we buy, which websites we visit. The search results are a window to the internet. That's a lot of power. Think about it. Is there any other search engine you use? For most of us, the answer is no. The CCI found that in the online search engine space, Google has a dominant position, and this is the power they've abused. The law says that an entity would be abusing their dominant position if they use that position to exclude other people from competing in that space or exploiting their users. How did Google abuse their position? Well, Google is not just a search engine. It also has products and advertising space it wants to sell, and that's where the problem lies. The CCI says that Google is not treating all content equally and is promoting its own products. Treating content equally is why we trust Google. Google shows us what we need to know. That's why it got so big. It is unbiased, runs on an algorithm. Everyone is equal. The CCI says that's not the case anymore. Abuse number 1. When we search for any flight on Google, the first result you see is this. Flight results sponsored by Google. Not Make My Trip, not Yatra, only Google. And look at the amount of screen it takes. Is there any scope for anything else to be seen, to be clicked? It only shows Google. The CCI says that this means Google is using their dominant position as a search engine to help its other businesses and drive down competing businesses. It's wrong to us, the consumers. We don't get the choice to go to Make My Trip, Yatra. We only see Google. But then there's another thought process. Google isn't really lying. It does say that this link is sponsored. Also, doesn't make any money of this. It only shows the times, and you can go to various organizations to book the tickets. Again, other ticket sellers like Make My Trip, etc. are missing. The CCI says that by excluding such other organizations, Google is abusing their dominant position. Abuse number 2. We see these search bars on websites, right? Turns out, as part of the agreement with these websites, Google imposes conditions. Conditions such that no other search engine will be allowed to be on the website. While having exclusive arrangements is not a unique thing to do, it becomes problematic when a company is dominant. There is no way for other competition to enter. Abuse number 3. Prior to 2010, Google only showed ranked results in the first, 4th and 10th position. In other positions, it was manual or sponsored content. Given that Google is the window to the internet, Google is abusing their position by not providing results which deserve to be there, but results which pay to be there, and thus cheating the users. The punishment. Google has been asked to pay 5% of its annual revenues, which is 136 crore rupees. While we can't even dream of such numbers, this number is very small with respect to what Google earns. On similar issues for manipulating search results for shopping, Google has been provisionally asked to pay $2.7 billion in Europe. Now, how do such moves affect the market? Are such moves stifling innovation, especially because nobody really suffered any monetary harm? Or is this required? Because manipulating what people see and think should be punished. Does this open big tech companies like Facebook, WhatsApp, Microsoft to punishment for similar tactics? Tell us what you think. Do comment, like, subscribe, marry and adopt us, and watch this space for more.